CPE 233, this is a brief intro to some of the more important issues in the course. Let's do it. So there is going to be essentially it's a survey I'm going to put out there. Only response I really want from this is the name of your CPE 133 teacher. So this is, as you know, this is going to start off online, and it's going to stay online. It's as long as we need to keep it safe. That's what we need to do to keep everyone safe here, and so that's what we're going to do. It's a flipped course. All the lectures are pre-recorded. Even in an ideal day, I won't give live Zoom lectures. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm always going to be there during class time to answer questions. Keep in mind that everything I say in the videos is from the text. So I wrote the text, which is kind of nice, and then I believe that's the important part, and that's what's in the videos. So class time, officially, whether it's Zoom or not, starts 10 minutes after the hour. Whether it's in person or not, I'm there to answer questions. If I'm at home, I'm not going to give a lecture, but I will be there to ask questions and help you with the experiments. Okay, so as of this writing, I think there's only one TA for the course, and he can only handle one of the sections, so I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. The hiring of TAs is absolutely not my responsibility. That's kind of responsibility of the department, and I can't really do anything about that. So it might be a rough start on that one. I'm warning you in advance. So the books and all the courseware is posted on Canvas. There's 2 texts and with the solutions manuals, and there's a lab manual, and there's a assembly language manual. Lots of stuff out there. I only ask that before each experiment, before you start a new experiment, download the latest lab manual. Don't download one at the beginning of the quarter and think it's going to work forever. Hardware is the Basis 3 board. It is required. Keep in mind that if you're having problems getting one, the EE department may be able to provide you with one. I don't really know why the EE department's handling this, but that's a mystery to me. Important thing here is the homework. It's not submitted. It's up to you to do the problems, as many problems as you need to feel like you understand the material. There's, like I said, there's probably 700-800 problems out there. Do them all. And if it's not that big a deal, or do them until you feel comfortable with the material. So the grading, there's the 2 final exams, there's the lab submissions from the experiments and the weekly quizzes, and then there's a minimum performance spec here. Lecture finals during finals week, it's solved problems like programming, hardware design. The lab final is short answer problems. That's given the last day of regular classes. Experiments, I hope you submit them on time. I want them to be of high quality. They're due 2 weeks after they're assigned. I will grade them up for sure up to 21 days. After 21 days, I may not grade them anymore. Keep in mind, if you're turning stuff in 21 days late, that's 3 weeks. That's like a third of the course. You're probably going to have problems. Weekly quizzes are optional. They are 20% of the grade if you want to take them. I will drop 1 quiz score during the quarters, and there'll be like 9 quizzes. There are minimum performance specs here. I expect you to get an A in the course. You got to do all the experiments. If you miss an experiment, the top grade you get is going to be a B+. You got to pass both finals as well to pass the course. So the quality of lab submissions is really important. I do the grading. When you submit something of low quality, it just takes a ton of time to grade. And generally, in my experience, when someone submits something low quality and I put a bunch of comments on it, they don't heed the comments, and the next report is of low quality also. So that's why I prefer high quality. They're easy to grade. They're easy for me to determine that, where you need help and that type of thing. Also, in the lab manual, there's some lab submission guidelines. Go read them. They're super important. I know there's a lot of them, but they make a lot of sense. So once again, these are lab submissions, not lab reports. They don't have a conclusion and objectives and procedure, all that stuff that takes a lot of time. Look at the lab submission description, the lab manual. So if you don't submit anything, you get 0, but if you submit something severe low quality, I'm going to give you a 1. And other than that, it just is normal grading. I do ramp up my grading standards as the quarter progresses. So cheating. Look, I know this all sucks with the COVID thing, but I'm asking you to not cheat. I know people have a ton of old work out there, but keep in mind, I did make changes to practically all the experiments this quarter. Make sure you get it right. If you turn something in that's obviously from the previous quarter, I take it personally, and that's essentially, it's not a good thing. So look, I do the grading, and I can see the cheating, but I don't say anything. But the one type of cheating that I really don't like is when you submitted something from the previous quarter verbatim and it's not right. So if you're going to do something like that, do a good job at disguising it. The issue here is, look, you're supposed to learn this material. I really don't care how you learn it. If you have other people's work, then use that work to help you learn the material. But just be careful what you turn in. So this quarter, I am kind of enforcing deadlines. Like I said, after 3 weeks, after 21 days, I may not grade anything you submit. So the quizzes are time limited, but I give you a ton of time, and I give those on Friday. So there's always an issue of Verilog versus System Verilog. I primarily use Verilog. I think there's a lot of good reasons to use Verilog to learning HDL. Verilog is a subset of System Verilog. I know all the other teachers use System Verilog for 133, but System Verilog was primarily used for verification and not synthesis, and you used very, very few features of System Verilog. You can use what you want for this course. It's very easy to mix Verilog and System Verilog modules. They're very much the same thing. If you know one, certainly if you know System Verilog, you know Verilog, because Verilog is a subset of System Verilog. So my main requirement is that you learn this stuff by week 10. My teaching experience was that I got really good grades, but I didn't learn anything. I was really good at guessing what teachers would put on the exams, and I actually had a lot of old people's homeworks. It's not going to work for you. I'm going to make sure that doesn't work for you. I write all new exams every time, so if you have old work, it's really not going to help you if you don't understand it. So my respect policy is that in person, that if you want to do something on your computer or your phone or something like that, you just do it. You're not. I don't find that disrespectful. You need to do what you need to do. Oh, and also, if I'm talking and you want to go work at the lab benches, you're welcome to do that also. So once again, cheating policy is essentially, if you have other people's work, I don't really consider it cheating if you're using it, but I do consider it kind of really, really bad if you submit that work and call it your own. So my personal quirks are, I have really bad hearing. It's painful in the classroom. It's probably even worse over some people's audio feeds via Zoom. But just keep in mind, I'll ask quite a bit. I hope that people treat each other with respect. If I see disrespect in the class, I react negatively. And most importantly, I've said this for many years, but it's always more important now. If you're sick, don't come to class. So this is always a big mystery to me, why students have such a big problem with CPE 233. I know it's a ton of material, but I always wonder, is it something I did wrong? Do I suck or something like this? I don't know. I still toil with this. I'm constantly tweaking with the class. One of the known issues here is in CPE 133 typically does not prepare students for 233. There's instructors that don't require you to do any design. There's instructors that don't require you to use the simulator, and typically there's instructors that don't require that you understand what you're doing with Verilog. So I think lots of times students are used to getting by without knowing the material. Like I said, I'm going to test you in such a way that you need to know them and understand the material. If you memorize it, it ain't going to help you. I know there's an issue with students disliking anything that looks like programming. This is partially a programming class in that it's assembly language programming. And I know Verilog looks like programming, but it's not. But these are issues that you all have to deal with. And I know, well, coming up here was a couple of slides. I'll comment on that later. So other big issues here. Cal Poly is a big name school, but don't buy into the hype of it. We're all working hard here to do the best we can. Generally speaking, your hard work is rewarded. Don't let anyone tweak you, intimidate you by their knowledge or their pretensions and all that stuff here. Lots of times people's position or their knowledge base was due to their own hard work. You're not less because you're not up at their level. You're just on the same road. You're just not quite as far down that road. Don't let people tweak you on this one. So the course is super doable. You're not going to be able to wing it. You're not going to be able to catch up in the final week or two of class. It just has never happened, even though every quarter people tell me they're going to do that. There's a lot of material here. None of it's complicated. The hard part of the class is that there's so much more material here. Essentially, the success in this course is you need to take all these many ideas and fit them together and make it work for you. And most importantly, if you've got questions, you need to ask for help. If there's something you're not getting, you need to ask for help. You're gonna crash and burn if you don't ask for help when you need it.